Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm here with morning. We're now live. I'm here with Lorianne, and she's going to tell us her story. I believe Dr. Kiltz will be here, and Dr. Nelson is trying to handle some technical issues with his audio. So, Lorianne, we're just chatting right before, but I said, please hold, so we'll get into her story right now.
Well, my story started a long time ago. If I tell you my age, you would guess what generation I was. I'm a boomer. I'm in the tail end of the boomers. But the first time I ever heard the true meaning of diabetes was when I was 8 years old. And they used to call it what it really is, sugar diabetes back in the day.
Interesting.
You don't hear much of that anymore.
No.
But that's exactly what they called it for many years. And my grandmother suffered with that, had a leg amputated. She also was a heavy smoker, and she had emphysema. So unfortunately, I was exposed to seeing all that. And as she died, there were family members that were holding cigarettes to her mouth as she was in intensive care.
Wow.
And I never wanted to smoke because of that. But she also introduced me to juicy fruit gum, which was my go-to. And so sugar became the drug that I chose. And all through life, wasn't too bad when I was young and at home. Mom cooked for us, but it was tons of carbs. We were not rich by any means, but we never did without a meal. But most of it was beans and rice and spaghetti and biscuits and gravy for breakfast and, that kind of stuff. So when I got to be 18 and was on my own and was working, every morning it was a Dr. Pepper and a Snickers bar for breakfast. For years.
That's so funny. I love Dr. Pepper. I remember that.
Yeah, it was my favorite. And so, I just kind of went through life like that until I woke up and realized it was sugar that was really affecting my family. There was just, everybody had diabetes. Everybody was overweight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, everybody. Wow. And I watched a lot of suffering with it. Probably some legs that should have been amputated. I mean, they were just black. And, and they struggled in even just passing. I had an uncle who was on dialysis forever. So I kind of woke up to it, but the addiction was so strong that I just felt a lot of guilt and shame because I was educated enough to know it wasn't right, but I was addicted enough to just keep doing it. I kind of parallel it to a cutter, people who cut themselves, and I just don't understand that at all. But there's no difference because it's just killing your body as you partake. And so my parents had a couple of restaurants while I was growing up and said I would never do it, but I ended up doing it. Never say never.
Oh, wow.
And I got in the food industry, and I would like to think I was one of the healthier restaurants in town when I didn't fry anything, but boy, I had good desserts, and I had a soup that we were pretty famous for that was nothing healthy about it, but boy, everybody liked it. And we made at least 4 gallons a day, and in the winter months, 8 gallons a day. So we sold a lot of it. And that's kind of what I was known for. And being in the restaurant business, you've got a pop machine, and there that Dr. Pepper is all day long. And it was nothing for me to have 3 or 4 cups going, one at the front of the house, one at the back of the house, the cash register. And I lived on that all day. So it was a hard habit to break, and I wanted to, and I could only be good for so long. And I realized it was definitely stress related. A lot of my eating habits were very stress related. They, it was comfort foods that I reached for. It was not healthy foods.
Sure. And then when you were thinking back in those times, what was like in your mind a healthy food?
Oh, well, vegetables, salads. You know, I grew up in the 80, or didn't grow up. I was grown up, but I was raising kids in the 80s and 90s, and it was no fat, low fat. You know, and so we all did that, and it works for a little while, but it doesn't. It's not a long term help. You know,
Right.
finally in I'm trying to 2018, I went vegan for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
And as I got rid of the chemical laden food, I felt better. You know, I felt that I looked better, looked healthier.
Hmm.
But it wasn't long into that I noticed I was losing muscle tone and handfuls of hair. And it
Mm.
panicked me because my family's always had pretty good hair. You know, we always had a head full of hair, and I'd wake up, there'd be hair all over my pillow. I shower, there'd just be handfuls of hair coming out. And I didn't even relate it to being a vegan at all.
Oh,
And it
wow.
wasn't
Oh, wow.
it wasn't until I started following, you know, the carnivore journey that I heard a lot of that. I heard a lot of people say that that was the issue. So I was glad I switched up.
Yeah. And so all this was
Good
happening
morning.
through your life. Oh, good morning, Dr. Kiltz.
Mhm.
When did you find out
Morning.
about carnivore? Oh, okay. I'm talking this morning. I'm talking. Dr. Kiltz is here. I'm talking.
So,
Um,
Okay. Well, we had one family member come down with cancer, and I shared that with my son, and he said, "Oh, Mom, you need to tell him about Dr. Thomas Siegfried. He's got all the information somebody would need to know
mm,
who's wanting to get better on cancer." And you know, it's really kind of touchy, especially after I had been vegan for so long. They kind of thought, "What else is she coming up with now?" And so I waited a while before I shared that information with him. But as I shared that information, I studied it myself, and I started about 2 years ago with ketogenic diet that Dr. Thomas um, shared, and it was hit and miss, up and down, in and out. I was not a very, like I said, I could only be good so long, and then I would fall again into the sugar trap. And but I would get back, and I started following Dr. Kiltz, and I
mhm.
loved to hear Dr. Kiltz teach, and Dr. Barry and Dr. Baker and all those wonderful doctors who freely give their time to help humanity. And when I got a hold of that, um, it changed everything for me. And
I love
I
that.
ended up going to the meetup at Yuma in Tennessee. I just packed my car up and
Oh,
I drove all by myself, and I joined them, and it was a life changer. And since then, I've come back, and
hmm,
really it has made a difference. Meeting like-minded people,
yeah.
hearing those testimonies, it's a life changer for me. And it's still not been 100% like I would like it, but it's probably a good 80-20. And I tell you, when I'm in ketosis, it's euphoric.
It is. Yep, it is. What would you say is your regular day of eating now?
Well, now I get up, and I'll have my cup of coffee with my husband, and I usually cook bacon while we're visiting
Hmm.
over a cup of coffee. And
Aw.
or fry him some eggs. He loves his fried eggs. He always has. So, you know, all the foods that we did without for the 3 years we were vegan, um, were the first thing I reached for was bacon. I mean, that was heaven to be able to taste that again. So we typically have that every morning, or I'll do a protein bowl. And usually I try to wind down my eating by 3 o'clock. I like to do
Yeah,
that 6 hour window of 9 to 3. It's best for me. Doesn't always happen, but that's when I feel my best. And so we do steak, we do hamburgers. I kind of try to come up with some different recipes just because I was in the food industry for so long. I try
yeah,
to recreate something that would be delicious and not feel like everything was repetitive.
sure. Um, Dr. Kiltz has two great books, Kiltz is keto is carnivore and Babies for Babies, and both have very good recipes in them, like ideas. I one day
Yes.
realized you
Yeah.
could use bone broth as gravy and everything became magical.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, bone broth
I
and
will have
butter.
to, and I'm excited to try his ice cream recipe out too. I haven't done that yet, but I got an ice cream machine for my birthday, and so I don't know if it needs that or not. But I was thrilled when I seen it because I thought I'm going to learn how to make this ice cream. You need a treat every once in a while, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can. Thank goodness.
Hi, Dr. Nelson.
Good morning.
Good morning, all. How's it going?
Oh gosh, just don't do
What's
it.
going on with you?
Oh no. I'm so
My-
sorry. I hope you feel
My
better soon.
voice has been stolen temporarily. It's okay. I'll do my best. Lori Ann, Jocelyn, you're so amazing.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate
Oh, thank you, Dr. Kiltz.
and your story. And it's so important that we're all sharing together in this world and healing each other.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes, it is. Go ahead.
Oh, I would just like to know. So we talked about like growing up and then your restaurant days and the love for Dr. Pepper. Oh man, I love Dr. Pepper. Loved Dr. Pepper. But how do you feel on carnivore? Like what changed physically for you?
Well,
Like-
everything changed.
Okay.
I mean, everything. I felt like the best way I can describe it is my brain was on fire.
Mhm.
I mean, it just didn't stop and it was miserable. And I've jokingly referred to, or have been referred to by other people as, Paula Deen or Martha Stewart. But mainly I was the soup Nazi because I was always so emotional and angry. It just
Aw.
kept me like that. And I knew deep down, I'm like, I'm not a mean person. But I
Mhm.
acted out a lot in stressful times, especially during the restaurant hours. It was
Yeah.
stressful. And, I just kept swigging that Dr. Pepper and eating all the carbs I could eat. And it kept me that way. So, yes, lots of health improvement. I had, because I was 5.9, it was my AC most of the time, A1C.
Oh, wow.
And they called me borderline hypoglycemic for 30 years every time I went to the doctor. And I would try a little bit, but I couldn't. The addiction was just too strong. So I had numb feet in the morning, numb hands, carpal tunnel. I snored like a freight train. It was totally embarrassing. My grandkids would tell me when they spent the night all the time, Gigi, you snore. I'm like, no, I don't. And we're going to record you. And I knew I did. So I said, okay, I gave in to my, I realize I do. Please don't record that. But that has lifted very seldom. I may get in a certain position that causes me to snore, but I can always just kind of reposition myself. And and before nothing helped. And the doctor wanted to put me on a CPAP machine.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, honestly, I was just too embarrassed to go to be seen in that every night with my husband. I'm like, no, you're not going to see me look like a monster with this machine. So it was a lot of vanity, but I just refused to. And it was probably a couple of weeks that I noticed a difference in my sleep pattern on
Amazing.
carnivore. It's amazing. Every time I hear somebody talk about some symptoms that I didn't even realize I had, it's like, oh yeah, that's gone. Clarity of thought's good. Still working on the memory. It seems short-term memory is not very strong, but my long-term memory is. And so I try to do puzzles, play some games online to be able to, hopefully strengthen my brain.
Yeah, those are great to do that. Puzzles for sure.
How many
had
times
one
a
more
day do
question.
you eat?
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's a good one.
How many times a
Well,
day do
typically
you
about
eat?
two times a day. And I could get by with one. I really could. I don't always eat because I'm hungry. And I think that's what's kind of stalled me on my weight loss. But I did also learn in my days of trying everything, the shots, the pills, the drinks, if it came out, I tried it. As a matter of fact, I was part of the FinFin group. And I was only taking FinFin for a couple of weeks when my heart is going to be out of my chest. I can't do this. And so
What
I
is
stopped that.
FinFin?
And then before long,
It was a combination
FinFin was a diet
therapy
drug.
of diet pills, and one of them got taken off the market. The other one's still present.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It was causing some
So because I
heart
did
valve
suffer
damage.
so much. Yes, it was. And it wasn't going away. And it just I felt uncomfortable. So I got off that. But I was always willing to try what somebody said would possibly work because I was so distraught with my weight. And at one point, right before I went vegan, I got on the scale and I weighed 193 pounds, and I'm only 5'2". That's huge. I was a barrel, and I just took those scales and walked outside and threw them in a trash can. And I don't know what I thought I was doing. I just didn't want to see it anymore. And I do believe I probably gained a little bit more. So I was tipping about 200. When I went to vegan, I lost down to 160. And then everything went to carbs on vegan. I quit doing all the natural, just the vegetables and stuff, and started, it was just, by the end, it was just nothing but carbs. So I was back up to about 180. And now with my journey on carnivore, I'm down smaller than I was when I met my husband. That's kind of what I always gauge it out. I was at 145 forever, and now I tip it every once in a while. I see 139, but it'll bump up to about 142. And I've got a few more pounds to lose, but I'm mainly interested in toning now more than losing the pounds. And and I'm trying to get off numbers. We get stuck on numbers, and
how do you feel?
I want to exactly, Dr. Nelson. That's what I want to go by. I feel great. When I cheat or when I eat something I know I'm not supposed to, if it's just one day, it's okay. But if it goes for 2 or 3 days, I feel it in my body. And so it's not worth it.
When you treat yourself sometimes, from time to time, like my voiceless friend here says.
I love that. Yes, it is a treat. A one-time treat. It's not I've fallen off the wagon and I can't get back up. You mentally get yourself ready for it's my grandbaby's birthday, party. I might have a bite of cake. That's a treat. It's when you can't stop is when it's a trap.
Yeah, exactly. There is one question we can answer really quickly, Dr. Nelson. This is from Alvin Kim in South Korea. What is the traditional lion diet protocol? Do I use tallow as the fat source? Thank you for spreading all your passion to us.
Well, the lion diet, which the term was coined by Michaela Peterson, which is mostly what she does because she cannot tolerate a lot of things, is ruminant meat, salt, and water. That's it. Ruminant meat, so beef, goat, lamb, other ruminants, salt, and water. So, yeah, tallow you can use, or just eat the fatty meat. But ruminant meat, salt, and water. That's it. It's the ultimate, I think, elimination diet, which many people have to go to sometimes to heal from sensitivities to a less restrictive, even an animal-based diet or carnivore diet.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is your husband following your eating patterns now, or how is that? What happens in the house?
Yes, he doesn't. He's probably not as strict as I am, but he doesn't have to be. You know, some people have to be stricter. I'm just so proud of his success in just kind of changing his lifestyle. It was a lifestyle change for both of us, but um, Mark is going to be 69 years old this year, and we've retired a couple of times, but we feel like it's pretty overrated. And so we always try to find something to do to keep busy. And he works at a job that he keeps very active at, and he's amazing how he keeps up with the younger people, you know, and his strength. He works out on his breaks and builds his muscles, and so he's seen the change in me, and he's seen the change in himself. And so it's really not that difficult for him to follow it. He likes his bread. That's always been his downfall. Sugar was mine, but bread was his, and he'll have some every once in a while. But for the most part, he's probably about 80-20 also.
Probably, and feeling a lot better.
This is a follow-up. This is a follow-up to the question that
Yes.
he was asking. And yeah, that is basically supposed to be a high-fat diet, yes.
How would they make it high fat? Just get the fatty cuts of meat, right? The fattiest cuts of meat, ruminant meat you can find.
Yeah. You can also add butter. You can add the tallow. Preferably, the best thing is what, Dr. Kiltz? Fatty raw meat?
Fatty raw meat.
Fatty raw meat.
Let's not make him talk. He doesn't have to talk today. Let's see.
He can't be on the screen or he'll interact with us. Oh my
wow, look at
goodness.
that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Fatty raw meat.
That's beautiful.
And
Wow.
and
What is that?
Ground beef.
Ground beef?
Mm-hmm. Raw ground beef is the best.
I haven't got to that point yet, Dr. Kiltz. I like my steak rare. I like my steak
Nothing
pretty
blue.
rare, though.
Rare to raw, but you know, it's one of the most amazing things because again, minced meat, you can take it out of any part of the cow, make sure they put a lot of fat in it, and it's so good. But yeah, slice it up. I just keep it in the refrigerator, let it dry age a little bit, and just a pinch of beef every day. I'm feeling better already.
Great.
Well, you sound better. Keep eating the meat. Well, I will share one thing with you. Back when I was having so many, what I thought was mental problems, I just couldn't seem to get my hormones in balance, and I was frustrated all the time and angry. I started studying about the mind, body, and spirit connection a whole lot because I am a believer, and I realized, yes, no doubt. I realized it had a lot to do with the behavior is our programming from birth. I mean, the subconscious mind runs the show.
Right.
And as I studied, I decided I wanted to get certified in hypnotherapy. And so the hypnotherapy, yes, amen, that's right. And the hypnotherapy has helped me with lots of tools to use when I feel like I'm going down the rabbit hole again, of wanting to do harm to my body. I mean, that's all there is to it. The sugar is harm to my body. Like I said, I would never think about taking a knife and cutting my arm. But when I took sugar, that's how I was affected. I was just tearing up my body and my mind. And so I've used it a lot. I do have a practice that I've done over the years with different ones with addiction, but the most addiction that I see in today's society is food, and people are walking around intoxicated on sugar. I've never been drunk in my life. Don't want to be drunk and I have no need to be drunk, but I walked around intoxicated all my life on sugar. So,
well, and remember,
and I didn't ever understand when people would say stuff.
the sugar, the plants
Go ahead, doctor.
The sugar, plants, and protein feed the microbes in the gut, which makes what? Alcohol. Sugar sometimes is not our problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it's
It's the
awful.
plants and proteins which ferment in the gut and make alcohol. Our children are walking around with beer in their belly.
Right. And we
Yeah.
wonder why they act crazy in school.
Oh, I'm telling you.
ADHD,
I
can't
used to hear
study.
You could just jump in anytime.
Well, I've often joked about ADHD. I had ADHD. I had ADHD HTV because I would always want to remodel a room or remodel a house, and I couldn't finish it. I was really good at starting projects, but I didn't finish them because I was on to the next thing. And I don't have that anymore. I have peace and I have calmness. But it was a hard detox. I mean, it was a hard detox. It was because I was just so controlled by it. And so once I got free, it's just been very little that I've taken in, but I can see an immediate, I feel like maybe it's in my mind, but I feel like I see an immediate change in myself and my personality when I don't eat right. It's not worth it.
Exactly. Let's see here. Larry Ryan says, I think in the New York school systems, they have meatless Mondays. Oh, this is a terrible thing. Yes, absolutely.
But not only do they have meatless Mondays, but pretty much every day it's a vegan plan. It's all
Right.
plant-based. But it's a mission to control the masses because if you feed a lion or a wolf plants, they become cats and dogs, domesticated animals. So in order to domesticate humanity, remember, civilization like the mighty New York City was grown on the backs of the masses, and Rockefeller and many others that controlled the money, control the message. And today it's no different. Don't run for the money. Relax and enjoy God's beauty and gift of nature and the simple life for sure. And meat is the master meal. Throw in an egg or two. That's okay.
Or 10.
And don't overcook your meals.
I do like egg. Yeah.
Eggs are so good. I agree. I agree.
We're all probably a little guilty of that.
Oh, I love eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. It's a guiltless pleasure. Okay, Chris Juilliard, Kiltz was having gastrointestinal issues with beef. You had a recommendation. It was grocery store beef. I got Vestergrad Farms now. No issues.
Mine is direct from the processor from Bighorn Mountain Farms in Buffalo, Wyoming.
Nice.
Process it, freeze it, ship it.
Great and delicious.
And remember, we breathe, drink, and eat. And in the air of the world, there are plenty of microbes, antigens, and chemicals that you can't run and hide from. They're everywhere.
Right.
And remember, our GI tract is the septic system of the world. It's the most infected. It's basically a septic tube. Microbes are there. Thankfully, our body in general is good as keeping them at bay, but they're trying to take Kiltz down, but he's not taking it. Just gets up and does it anyway. Might have been a little late, but as they say, better late than never.
Absolutely. Okay, Fred Calabrese, Lori, your skin is full of youthfulness. How long have you been carnivore?
Lori,
do you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, thank you, Frank. Am I on now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes. We can hear you.
How long have you been carnivore?
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
There must be internet issues. We'll get back to that question.
Always connection issues.
Always.
Oh, okay. No, I've learned the thing that I notice when I eat better is my skin clears up. I mean, I just noticed a major difference. I used to have so much bloating and indigestion, heartburn. I couldn't sleep at night. I took Tums every night before bed just because I knew I needed it before I went to sleep. And now I don't have those problems. I'm 64 years old today. Today is my birthday. And I feel better today than I did. Thank you. Than I did when I was 34. Really, my body can't always do the things that I used to, but I feel good. And Dr. Nelson, that's what we need to go by, right?
Yeah. Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
It is. Thank you.
So we have a question.
Yeah, Chris Juilliard, is there a viable carnivore alternative with alpha gal syndrome?
So first of all, you might want to try other ruminant meats besides beef, but in general, it's supposed to be to any red meat, unfortunately. First of all, this is not a common condition. It's not frequent, but you're going to have to do a lot more poultry and fish and other meats, go and catch your iguanas.
Well,
Dog, turkey, pork, chicken.
what are the odds that most human beings are probably bitten by ticks and fleas more so than as much as beef is? So every time someone blames the beef, they should actually blame the bugs that are everywhere.
Yeah,
Anyway.
no, but he's not they're not blaming the beef, but if you cannot eat beef, then you're going to have to use other than red meat.
And it's probably the glycocalyx, which is the culprit anyway. But when was the last time you saw an anaphylactic reaction to beef? Doctor?
Oh, I have never.
Never. So it's sort of like everyone's looking for the most rare thing.
Yeah, it's true.
That's why.
Let's do this. Let's do the next one. This is for Lori. Do you still have carb cravings in stressful situations, and what strategies do you use to cope with them?
Yes, I do. I've had to kind of excuse myself from many family functions sometimes because I understand showing love through food. I mean, that used to be my motto. We joked about it. I love you. Let me feed you, and people always, because I did have the restaurant, want me to taste their recipes. And I just have to explain to them, one bite of that sugar is like a little bit of cocaine to me because I was that addicted and I just don't even want to open that door. So what I do to help myself, if I see something that I want or get a craving, at one time it served me, it helped calm me down. It gave me energy to get through the day. But at this time in life, it no longer serves me. And so we always have a conversation going on in our head. So it might as well be a positive one. And that's what I remind myself of when I want to reach for something for comfort in a stressful situation, or just be part of a group that wants me to taste their dessert. What I told a lady the other day, she was offering me some carrot cake and it looked really good. And I said, no, I'm good. That's just seems to never be enough for some people. And she said, oh, but it's the best you've ever had and you need to taste it. And I said, I can tell by looking, it probably would be the best I ever had. And, but I'm going to pass on that. And then she just kept on. And I said, well, it's like this. I like sugar, but sugar don't like me. And so I
Mhm.
stay away from it. Oh, are you diabetic? And I said, no, I don't want to be. And it was just so hard for her to grasp that.
Well, you
They
can
would
always
feel
tell
sorry
them you're
for me if I
allergic
was
to it.
saying, yes, I am. Okay, we understand it. And they lure people to understand just because I want to be healthy.
You can always tell them you're allergic. You can have that.
Yes, I break out in fat and I break out in all kinds of anger when I eat my sugar. It's intoxicating to me. And, my kids know because they lived with me. My husband knows because he lived with me, and they know that what it does to me. And so and I used to tell them, you can get away from me. I can't. I'm angry and I'm mad and you can leave the room, but I'm dealing with all these emotions and
Mhm.
it's not worth it. It no longer
Right.
serves me.
Poisoned by plants. Period.
True, doctor. True. Yeah. Yeah. And I've gotten to the point where it's just the stop and go was too hard on my body too. If I get and be 2 or 3 days just kind of eating what I wanted, it would take me 72 hours to recover from that, to feel normal again, to feel okay. And it's just not worth it. Also, the reason I scheduled this interview on this date was because my mother died at 64. She died of cirrhosis of the liver and diabetes. And it's kind of an eye opener. I do not, I do have a lot of pride, and I don't want my children having to take care of me and see me die like that. And I love my husband enough. I don't want him to have to do it either.
Did she have type 2 diabetes?
Yes, sir, she did. Yeah.
So
And
interesting. So
she one of the things I've learned with the hypnotherapy, and a lot of times people have dual addictions. Mother had a dual addiction. She liked her food, she liked her sugar, and she liked her liquor, and it just killed her. And it was so hard. It was 15 years ago. She was only 15 years older than me. She had me when she was 15, so we kind of grew up together.
God bless her.
And she was not always well, and I took care of her a lot because I'm a caregiver. I like to tend to my people and take care of my people. And but it was earth shattering for me, and spiraled into depression. And it took me a lot of years to climb out. And the closer I got to that age, the more I was like, you know what? I don't have to. I don't have to be like that. I don't have to die sick. And about 2 years ago, I started working for a hospice. I started cooking for them and bringing meals in to serve the families and the dying patients. It's a house. It's beautiful. It's on 6 acres here in Tulsa. I call it the most sacred 6 acres in Tulsa because, people they come there to die, and I know that they're transitioning over to a better place, especially from where they're at in their body. But I learned so much about self-induced illness in that year because we had people come in that were suffering from nothing more than what they were eating. And once that cancer was in the liver or the lungs or wherever, it just spread like wildfire. And most of them were still eating not healthy diets. It was just feeding the cancer. And it made me sad. I took care of them the best I could, but I just had a breaking point when I realized I was feeding most of them drops of Coke, Diet Coke, dark Dr. Pepper with a syringe.
Oops.
It was heavy, and I had to, after a year, I just had to step out. And so that's what it's about, living the best life. I don't know that carnivore will add years to me. I do believe it will, but if it doesn't, it gives me a quality of life I want now. And that's why nothing's worth going back to what I used to be.
Totally
You're
understand.
absolutely correct. We have no idea if anything we do does add days to our life. None of us know when that will happen, right? But at least if you live your best life, the best quality,
Right.
then you can feel good and useful to your family and be with them. Like you say, yeah, I wouldn't like to be depending on someone if I'm bedridden.
Yes.
Dr. Kiltz, can you show the book that you showed earlier?
Yes.
I think it was called Taming
you have
the
to learn
Master.
to love yourself.
Beast, Taming the Beast.
Oh, this is from an eclectic, amazing dude called Mitch Weiss. It's called Taming the Beast Within. And because our real work is the work within us.
And in case people don't know who he is, he's old guy carnivore.
No, can't be. Impossible. This is a smart dude. Wait a minute. Mitch Weiss is an amazing dude. That's all of us are, by the way. And just keep doing it. Right, Lori? That's it. Keep doing it.
Yes, definitely.
To share.
Well, there's some scripture, Dr. Kiltz, that says to love your neighbor. Scripture says to love. So if we can't love ourselves enough to take care of ourselves, we can probably never properly love someone else. And so, as conceited as that may sound to some people, we do have to learn to love ourselves and take care of ourselves. Then we can love others properly.
And ultimately, God is within all of us. And you must love God with all your heart, soul, and all your might. And God is all of us. And so even when we're angry at others, we're really angry at ourselves. And when you begin to look in the mirror with full on love, love will lead always. Yes. And you mentioned the mindset. The mind is the master of it all. I don't care what your diet is. If you tame the beast within, oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Tame the beast within? That's all it is? Ooh, yeah. That's all it is. Amazon, by the way. I encourage everyone to get this book. Really radical, amazing. And it's our stories are critical. Your story, my story, all stories are the most critical story to tell.
And we're not joking. That is Mitch Weiss is Old Guy Carnivore. He's the author of that book he was showing. So
but we are joking also. Because you got to have laughter and humor in life, and at all of our antics. We don't allow Dr. Nelson to get on stage though, because he'll first of all he'll trash Kiltz, and never.
I was at the Healing Humanity meeting yesterday, and they wanted to know how many jokes Dr. Nelson prepared for the upcoming event in Ohio, and I said 9,000.
I prepare one joke, Dr. Nelson to go first.
As a matter of fact, I was looking at the lineup, and I was gonna send them a message to let me go just before you.
Always. See, I should not be first. I should be last. It's my 2 cents.
I'll email them. I'm not sure what this question is. Is it I guess
Well,
it's
you'll
the
always be
80%.
number one to me, Dr. Kiltz, because I do my best to try to listen to you, and I've learned so much from you, and I appreciate the time you pour into people. It's you're sharing your gift.
Well, I appreciate that. And you know, that's what I think that's I don't know that I have anything special or different or unique to share, but I do love sharing special, unique, and typically out of the common story of we in Western medicine. And the more I share this, faith, fatty meat, fasting, and I'm gonna do a 3-week fast. Oh wait, +1. But we're doing the next fast. My next fast is in October, by the way.
October. Are you gonna do
5
5,
to 7
7?
days. 5 to
Okay.
7 days is my general, and then in January, how many days are we gonna do, Doctor?
You're gonna do 40.
Well, I just follow Dr. Nelson.
Possibly.
Well, fasting is one of the most amazing things that any of us can do, and all of us can do it. I don't care if you're pregnant, if you're not pregnant, if you're trying to get pregnant. It depends on how much fat you carry on your body. And when I say fat, I talk about the most fit and fantastic cells of your body, which are your adipose tissues. Adipose tissue is the most important organ system of your body. Nothing else trumps your adipose tissue. And we're only alive because of our adipose tissue, because we don't require eating all the time. And that's only because we make fat in the liver via insulin out of amino acids and simple sugars. And your mom, Lori, basically, see, type 2 diabetes is liver damage. Type 1 diabetes is pancreatic damage.
Mm-hmm.
So the pancreatic islet cells are trash.
Oh.
You have no insulin. But type 2 diabetes, as your liver function drops, glucose levels rise, and so do insulin levels. Eventually you go from normal liver, fatty liver, fibrotic liver, cirrhotic liver. And if you don't stop your habits, your cirrhotic liver will cause an inability of the liver to convert amino acids and sugar via insulin to fat, and you will die. Unless you take on the ketogenic original diet, which is eating fat, because it's adipocytes your body wants more than anything. It doesn't care about your muscles. It cares about adipocytes. And basically, adipose tissue is the magic. You can hibernate, migrate, gestate, and not eat food for a year. And many organisms do that. We're not grazing animals. And if you look at wolves and tigers, lions, and many other animals that are carnivores, they eat from time to time, and the length of that time is increased depending on the amount of fat that they carry. And the last I looked, if you carry an extra 100 pounds of fat, you're stronger than most people 100 pounds less than you.
Yeah.
Judy asked about a lot of people talk about different things, and they mention 80-20, 70-30. When you're talking about ground beef, 80% is the lean meat portion and 20% the fat portion by weight.
Grams.
But when you're talking about Dr. Kiltz just mentioned the original ketogenic diet. A ketogenic diet usually is a high-fat diet, which is 70-30 or 80-20, but it's 80% of the calories on the diet from fat, 20%. In this case, we don't basically eat that many carbohydrates, but 20% of the calories from protein. So that's what the numbers refer to. Just eat
But
the fatty meat and
like the 1-to-1 gram weight wise, and I absolutely will eat the fat, the white stuff first, and make sure I clean the plate of the fat. And in the lean meat, think about the lean meat as our ancient humans would have been scavengers, as the story says, but we would risk death in order to feed our family by hunting the massive mastodons and the other big beasts.
so a 1-to-1 by weight ends up being about 67 to 70% of the calories from fat and the rest from protein. Gets a little bit confusing sometimes on the numbers.
Okay, good. Let's get through these last few questions here because we got a few minutes left. Jojo, I've been carnivore for 15 months. I just had blood work and my TSA, I think she means shifted up to 10.5 for the first time in my life. My T4 is normal. Any correlation?
I don't know that there is any correlation, but TSH over 10 traditionally is sort of a cutoff line for treatment, but I don't have enough information there to make any more comments.
There you go. Chris
Well,
Juilliard. Oh,
can
Dr.
I
Kiltz.
attempt a comment?
Yes.
How do you feel? Because at any moment you draw your blood, it's going to, and then the analyzer itself is imperfect in its ability to only measure TSH, and there are many cross reactants that come into play, and you may have like a surge of TSH coming out for reasons that could be stress provoked or other things that we may be measuring, but T3, T4 and how you feel probably are a better measurement anyway. But when we started measuring everything, it seems when we started getting more miserable. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Would anyone agree that sugar is an addiction equal to alcohol and drugs? Would an addict just stop? That's more of a comment, but yes, it's the same. It's an addiction.
Well, not the same.
Not the same. I mean, it's.
I'm going to give you my 2 cents.
Okay.
So why are we addicted to sugar? Because instinctually, adaptively, physiologically, in our ancient environment, a sweet fruit on a tree says, go eat all of it. Go in order to make fat in your liver and distribute it to your adipocytes. And so I think we're misconstruing why we do what we do, because it didn't exist everywhere all the time like it does today. And let's just say, and I know Dr. Nelson maybe could comment about this, is that the fruit today is sweeter, larger, and more accessible than ever before. And so why are we addicted to
all of them? Definitely.
Yep, because you're supposed to be. Because the likely environment of no food was very common back when. Go hunt and gather food today. Cisco isn't delivering your food 50,000 years ago. Neither is Uber or what is it, Uber Eats or whatever it is. Grubhub.
Right. Exactly. All right, so let me see. Bruce says, I'm only on day 35, but started working out daily 1 week ago with my smart gym. I was told working out daily for 45 minutes is too much and can inflame you. Is this correct, Dr. Kiltz?
I do about an hour walk a day, and I do about 15 minutes of light weights and 100 push-ups every day. I get up and get moving, and the most important thing is to get moving and go do something. I don't, again, the more miles you put on your car, the less time it exists on earth, and so slow it down, cool it down, calm it down. Mind, meditation, prayer, visualization, light walking. I do some hills. That's kind of what I do mostly, but light walking, slow it down, take a rest. It's okay. I think we overemphasize exercise. My fifth leading cause of all disease is excessive exercise. We're not a race car, but you got to get up and go move and do something, because the energy that's placed on our body, allowing our muscles to move, enabling us to thrive and survive in our environments, is you got to do the work. So I'm not here to tell you not to go for a walk, a bike ride, or a swim. Go do those things. But nature doesn't have entertainment. It's doing the work of life.
There you go. All right. I'm going to pull up the giveaway now. Let's see. Time to give away.
Dr. Nelson. Maybe someone else.
I can add to the fact that when I feel the presence of God more.
What's that?
And that's scripture.
Say it again.
Be still and know God.
Be still and know God. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Be still and know God. That's what works for me. Because
where is God? Everywhere. Everywhere includes us. Within us. Mm-hmm. We are the gods. And God can do
everywhere,
everything.
Yes. But we see, I think we see him outside more than we see him in us.
Because we're not looking and reflecting, as you said, within.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The stillness is to
mm-hmm.
talk to God. And when you talk to God and look in the mirror, there you see God's gift to life. You are the gift of God's life. You are. 100%.
Here we go.
Get it, Alia?
And my good friend Angela Lero, I shared a copy of this Christ-based teaching with her. And God is the greatest idea. As our mind expands to encompass this great idea, then the idea expresses itself through us in terms of our concept of it. As our concept of God expands, our expression of his nature grows. So whatever you eat or drink, whatever you do all to the glory of God. This is the way to live life abundantly. In this spirit, affirm confidently, I am an open channel through which the abundant action of the Father works freely. So simple.
So simple. Anthony S., if you're here, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Please email me, alia@drkiltz.com with your shirt size, and we will get you your shirt. There you go.
Dr. Nelson, a quick question, and you don't have to have the answer now. We talk about it later also. Those that eat fat from an animal, adipose tissue, the adipose tissue and the fat in the gut becomes a chylomicron, which is absorbed in the thoracic duct, lymphatics. It's the delivery truck of all the amino acids, simple sugars, and fats, and minerals and vitamins from the gut. VLDL, very low density lipoproteins, which is the delivery truck of the fats, sugars, amino acids, minerals, and vitamins from the liver. What is the delivery mechanism from the adipose tissue to all your cells of the body?
Well, from the attic position, you have triglycerides. They need to be transported by one of these delivery trucks. But yeah, the chylomicron gives off some cholesterol and triglycerides and becomes a LDL, IDL, LDL, and as they keep traveling and giving up. It's not only triglycerides and cholesterol that they deliver, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants are delivered.
Simple sugars, the glycans, and the amino acid proteins are delivered to the cells via these delivery trucks. I think we make the science too complicated. Maybe a chylomicron and a glycolipoprotein from the liver, a VLDL, and they're it's sort of like different stages of the same thing.
Yes,
they're not so different. I think that's the whole point here. So I think the science of all of this is so amazingly simple. We make it too complicated in this paleo keto carnivore world. Too complicated.
There we go. Oh my gosh, it's an hour. Lori, thank you so much.
Lori, you're
Dr.
amazing.
Kiltz.
Ali and Dr. Nelson, thank you. I'm going to take a little respite here. I appreciate everyone being part of this story, and share your thoughts, ideas, and your magic in life, because God is within each and every one of us. And I'm so, again, appreciative to Ali and Dr. Nelson for carrying the light. And I'm going to go take a little rest. I love you all. Thanks.
Bye, everybody. Goodbye.